What's up, YouTube? This is Rocky, and I'm uploading a new video today. I'm uploading a video today because I experienced a phenomena this week that I was almost sure that I was not going to experience, and that is something that happens to dieters and people who are losing weight, and it's something that kind of deters us from our weight loss goals. It really strikes at us, and it can be a hope killer. It really can. It can be a hope killer. It is when you've been losing weight, you've been feeling good, and then you step on the scale and you see 5 pounds. And you see 5 pounds, and this is after eating good, drinking your water, exercising, right? And you think to yourself, okay, those old habits kicked in subconsciously, I've done something that I don't recognize. And it is one of the biggest medical discoveries as far as weight loss and wellness goes. What happens to your body when you begin to exercise or eat differently? It begins to store fat. It's like a reflex action. Your fat is defending itself. It's defending itself. It's like, what's going on? I don't like this. Because fat cells, unfortunately, they are living organisms inside our body. They are a byproduct of eating certain foods. And I will even go as far as to say preservatives, minerals, things in our bodies that are foreign, that build themselves up as fat. I mean, we spend so much time blaming the victim in our culture. We spend so much time victim shaming in our culture that we really don't want to delve into the facts and the realities of why some of us gain weight and some of us don't. I think it's also because of our genetic predisposition. I think it's also from eating foods high in preservatives, high in minerals and things like that, that our body does not recognize as healthy or necessary. So the reflex of it is that it builds us, and our bodies don't expel it like certain people do. Like, some people have that reflex action that says, okay, this is not good, I want it out. I don't know if I want that reflex action, because lately I've been on the go, because my body has been metabolizing fat, and I don't want to spend all day in the bathroom or on the toilet. The side effects of that is an irritation in areas that you just think that is so, that wouldn't affect you emotionally. It wouldn't affect you behaviorally. It wouldn't affect you as emotionally as you thought it would, and it does. It's not that I don't mind it. It's just I mind having to go often. It's irritating. It's affecting. It really is. So one of the key things that that happens is that some of our bodies, it just stores it up. It stores it up. It tries to break it down, and unfortunately, it's just not a successful. It's not, it doesn't break down successfully, and it manifests itself as extra fat cells. And one thing that I learned when I was in kinesiology, when I was taking a kinesiology class, fat is actually your body trying to determine, is this a muscle, or is this tissue? And it is fat tissue. It is, because that's what it mimics. But something that we've eaten along the way that we need to change is what's causing our bodies to store up extra fat cells. Because oh my God, you guys have to excuse me. It's early. It's really early Sunday, and I had to make this video, because if I did not make this video, then I could not inform you, and I could not do my job of sharing my story with you about weight gain and my weight loss and the different theories that I've encountered during my journey to weight loss and wellness. Like I said, I remember most of the information that I share with you is from me taking classes in my undergraduate education. Basically, they were elective classes that I continued to take because it was informative and it was educational. And it was at a successful point in my life where I was actually able to shed weight successfully. I mean, it was awesome. I was able to find, I was able to eat properly. I was able to find that motivation to exercise. And now that I'm older, I'm trying to reclaim all that. I'm trying to reclaim all that and share some of the success that I had when I was younger. And I think that one of the most important things is taking on this endeavor while I am getting older, because as we age, I think that we are basically discounted in this culture. And I think it's American culture is the only culture that does that as far as victimizing aging men and women. And I understand it. I understand why a lot of individuals want to idealize youth. And it's because basically they don't know. They don't know about young people. And I was one of those young people that when I was young and I was, inexperienced and timid and afraid, I let people know. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't want to do that. That is for somebody who's more educated, who's more mature, who's more developed. And that's one of the things I made clear, in my youth that of what I was incapable of. And I think it's important for, anybody to speak out when they're being discounted, or when we are made to believe that we should have accomplished or achieved a certain level of understanding or skill when, as we get older, or, as we're aging, or when we're younger. It is just all according to the individual. It's according to the individual. It's according to your motivation. It's according to what you know, what you can accept, what you won't accept. And finding those 3 extra pounds, I kind of cringed. 5 actually. I cringed because I'm like, oh my God, this is the point where a lot of people who are on their weight loss journey kind of give up, and they say, well, screw this. I'm like, I want to know what this is. I want to know what it is. I want to know how to get rid of it. And it was basically over the last 2 days that I had put on those 5 extra pounds. And I was in the bathroom and I said, you know what? I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm doing. And the first thing that happened is I blamed myself. But then I began to recount what I ate. And I remembered what I ate. And I'm like, this is definitely due to me working out. This is definitely due to me drinking extra water. Because there was no indication from my diet that I had gained weight. I was not eating extra sugars. I was not taking in more fat. I just think that after you lose weight, your body just kind of has this reflex action where it takes this inventory and it replaces those fat cells. But if you continue to burn that tissue, if you continue to eat right, then you will see that weight loss. Because remember, we're living with a living organism. Fat cells are alive. I mean, they can nourish your body. They can poison the body. They, as we can see from appearance, they definitely alter the body. So I think that it's important to be honest with yourself and confront whatever is going on in your body, emotionally, physically, and with a common sense that says, okay, I don't know where this extra fat is coming from. But like I said, here's my theory. It's a reflex action. It is 100% a reflex action in the body that when you begin to lose weight and you begin to exercise, your fat cells begin to react. They get tighter, they come together. And it usually lasts for, I think, a couple of days. Because for me, it was about a day and a half where I was made to worry, where I felt anxious, where I felt like a complete and total failure. And I think that what is typical is that a lot of people, they give up and they begin to eat whatever is convenient in the kitchen. And I refuse to allow myself to do that. I'm like, this can't be due to me. This can't be due to me. This can't be due to what I've been eating. I want to figure out what the hell this is. And I woke up this morning and I stepped on the scale. I was down those 5 pounds and literally witnessing a miracle in weight loss in less than a day and a half. Those 5 pounds that I had gained were those 5 pounds that I had lost, along with 3 extra ounces. So yes. And I think to myself, if I had just had that one more glass of water, I could have been down another pound. And it is just important that you stay committed, important that you be realistic with yourself, because if you don't, your psyche will manipulate you. Your psyche will manipulate you. Your body is and you lose your hope, you lose your inspiration, you lose your motivation. Like I said, the human body is so complex. It's complex. It has an autonomic nervous system that breathes on its own. Your heart beats on its own. And one thing about fat cells, I think, is that they're a living tissue in the human body, and they affect our appearance, they affect how we feel, and and they can affect your behavior. And look at you, you're so beautiful. And they can affect your behavior, and they can affect how your motivation. And like I said, my other theory about fat cells that I truly don't understand, because I believe that I have been living a healthy life, is that somewhere along the lines I changed my diet. I stopped eating sugar. That was one of the major things that I had done. And I stopped eating so much sugar because I felt guilty. I'm like, this is why I don't look good. And this is despite giving birth. Like I'm another human being is literally growing in my body. So I have to feed him. I have to make sure that he receives the right amount of nutrition. I have to stay healthy so that he's healthy or she's healthy. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of pressure on the body, on the human body. So of course your metabolism is going to be affected. And some people are lucky, but let's catch them in about 20 to 30 years and see how lucky they are. I'd rather take all my endeavors now. I would rather experience all of my shit right now. I mean, my weight gain, my tissue expanding right now, rather than when I become 70 or 80 years old. I really just would. Some people are lucky. They're really lucky. But because I know that there are a lot of mothers out there who pride themselves on being able to lose the weight after they've given birth to like 3 or 4 kids. Well, I mean, I don't know. We have to find a balance somewhere, and I'm not hating, I'm not complaining, but I'm telling my story. Because I wanted to be there for my children. I wanted to be nourishing to my children. And I had basically didn't start to gain weight until the pandemic, until I became completely and totally sedentary, and I became depressed, and I became, my hope dwindled. I began to despair. And so I began to eat things that that I would not eat. And that's like eating 3 or 4 pizzas. I remember once I ate I would say about 10 pizzas of pizza in a day. I mean, I ate it for breakfast, I ate it for lunch, and I ate it for dinner. Yeah, and I would it was definitely my downfall. But it was my feel-good food during the pandemic. It helped me emotionally. It helped me feel better. And I just continued throughout the pandemic to eat. And when you can't move, Oh, where you can't move and you can't and I found a way to exercise, but still living that sedentary life, not being able to take those daily walks, not being able to really get outside and enjoy yourself, it becomes, it becomes a depressing issue. And my max weight was 287 pounds. I'm now down to 280. And that's because I chose to diet first. I chose to take an inventory of everything that I was eating and find out where what was my trigger. And eating processed frozen pizza was definitely my trigger. So I basically made taking on the endeavor of eating clean, healthy foods, taking on the endeavor of meal prep, and I've been successful. I am now down those 6 pounds, and I'm happy. I don't expect it to be more because I don't feel that I've put in the time and the energy to have accomplished more. Like I said, I'm being realistic. I'm not trying to tell, I'm not trying to tell or sell any type of magical weight loss method. Yeah. I'm not trying to sell some magical weight loss method. Like I said, I'm well aware of the exercise that I've been putting into my weight loss routine. But I've basically chosen to diet first because I know that food is my issue. And some people are unwilling to confront that. One of the things that I'm most proud of is I'm able to portion control. I'm able to eat certain foods and fruits and vegetables that I know that I loved growing up and taking them seriously. Like I said, when I was younger, there was I was fit. I was fit, I was healthy, and that is because eating fruits for me was a treat. Watermelon was a treat. Apples, peaches, oranges, all of those were treats. And now, as I've gotten older, I've stopped eating fruits and vegetables. I've mostly been eating what have I been eating? Whole food, meals, like huge meal preparations, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I never grew up like that. My mother only made breakfast on the weekends in my house. Breakfast was for me growing up was an orange, some juice, and that was it. And like I said, when I was younger, I was fit, but I think I lived a realistic life. I was an athlete. I wasn't a fanatic. I wasn't an enthusiast. I was not a fanatic about working out or exercise. I worked out and exercised to maintain my fitness level, to play softball, to be a cheerleader, to play basketball and things like that. So now I was just not as fanatical as a lot of mothers are nowadays. And now as I'm getting older, I do want to increase my endurance because, like I said, my goal is to compete in a triathlon. I just think that it's something that has touched my spirit. It has taken a hold of me, and it is a goal, and it is an endeavor that I intend to embark on. So will I become a fanatic? Yeah, but I'll become a fanatic for a reason. And it won't be because I dislike myself so much to the point where I just want to prove a point, an aesthetic point. But I want to get to a point where I am healthy, where I am engaging in wellness activities every day to improve, to ensure my longevity, and to ensure the healthy quality of life as I get older. Because as we get older, for our bodies to be incapable of doing certain things like getting up and standing up straight and being able to metabolize and go to the bathroom, and not to mention the psychological deprivations that we experience as we get older. I'm expecting them. I'm definitely expecting them. But I want to face them head on. I mean, the medical industry has done, amazing research into dementia and improving you know, men and women's quality of life as they get older, as far as clarity and things like that. There have been a lot of innovations, and I would definitely take advantage of them. That's after reading the research. That's just the type of person I am. I have to do the research. I have to know the pros and cons of using certain supplements to aid in, you know, my wellness. And I think that's just, for me, it's just, you know, something I do to feel safe and to reassure myself that I haven't done anything that's really going to compromise my health. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to just kind of keep you guys informed. To anybody who's going through this, believe in yourself. Take an inventory of what you've eaten. Take an inventory of what you're doing differently, because a lot of times, you know, we will drop the weight. We will lose fat like immediately. And then you'll come to a certain point where you hit a plateau and you're like, oh my God, you know, this is it. I'm throwing in the towel. It's not working. I've done something to myself. And basically what you have to do is you have to take your time, and you have to understand that you are doing something different with your body. Especially if you've gained, you know, a lot of weight like I did. So I'm basically going to take my time. I'm going to do it right. And it's through developing healthy habits, and it's due taking a serious inventory and taking stock in my health and taking responsibility for my actions. So yes, it takes 30 days to break a bad habit, but it also takes 30 days to learn a new, more positive, more productive behavior. Like really taking inventory in what you're eating and your behaviors. So yeah, peace.